parts for the Toyota, so come along with us down to JD Fab. Alright guys, so like I said, we're heading down to go pick up parts for the Toyota. We're actually going down to pick up suspension for the Toyota from JD Fabrication, and we're actually really super excited to go down there and go get it. It took us a while to figure out exactly what we wanted, but at JD Fab, they were super kind and helped us through everything that we wanted to kind of do with it. We do plan to race. We had an amazing time racing her at the 2K50. I don't know how serious we're gonna take racing. I mean, Nate still works full time, and I don't know. I want to race. I want to race, definitely. What about you, Nate?
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's just expensive hobby, so we'll see how many races we actually do.
Yeah, just to add to all our other hobbies and off-roading life. But yeah, so we're gonna go down there and go pick up the suspension. I'm super excited, so let's get down there. All right guys, so we are here inside JD Fabrication. We're gonna walk you around and show you some of the builds that they have going on right now. Meanwhile, while we're waiting to pick up parts for the Toyota, and just so happens behind me, you might be able to see a little bit. I'll have Nate walk you around. There is a Toyota right behind me that's gonna be kind of like our build. So let's show you around.
All right guys, like Fawn said, there's the Toyota behind me, which is pretty cool. It's got the old school colors and everything on it. You can see this is a Class 7 truck, which is exactly what we're trying to accomplish with ours. So I'll show you around a little bit. It's a leaf sprung truck, just like ours is. Full cage, seats, harnesses, everything required. You can see the radiator is still in the front. This does have a V6 Toyota swap in it. I think the 3.4 for a little more power. But yeah, that's basically what we're after. We plan on staying 22R for now, but that's kind of what we're building. Let me show you some more rigs around here. So they're still working, so the sound in the background is going to be a little loud. I know, I'm sorry. I don't want to stop them from working, definitely. But let's show you this Tahoe. It's got a really interesting build on it, and it is really, in my book, freaking cool. All right, Nate, come on over here and let's explain what is going on over here. Honestly, I'm not really sure. I've never seen a suspension setup like this. They did tell us there was a name for it, but it has a trailing arm type setup, but instead of it being on the front where it would normally be, it's coming in from the back, which allows them to lean the shocks backwards so they could keep the passenger compartment open, so they can keep 5 seats inside this Tahoe. They're not in there yet, but I believe that's the plan, to keep it a 5-person vehicle. Definitely a cool setup. You can see the shocks come all the way up here. They have this completely boxed in. Definitely a cool setup. Alright guys, so these are the parts for our Toyota. We'll go ahead and get them loaded up and show you what we got when we get back home.
All right, guys, so we've just made it back home. Well, not just made it back home, it's the next day. We hit a lot of traffic coming home from JD Fab. But we want to kind of go over and show you what we did pick up, some of the kit for the Toyota, and some of the extra parts we got too. So let's go over that and we'll show you the parts. So Nate, we ended up getting a kit for the suspension, right?
Yeah, so we got a long travel kit for the front end, and then we're gonna stay with the leaf springs in the back. You saw us pick those up at Deaver. So we have the Deaver leaf springs going in the back with a 9-inch Ford rear end.
And we were having a hard time locating something for this old of truck, right?
Yeah, a lot of the companies like Total Chaos used to make a front suspension kit, and they no longer make it. They said they stopped about 7 years ago. So the JD Fab was one of the few that still offer this kit, which we were really glad to get.
All right, so right here is our box of parts, little pieces here and there. Nate, you want to go over some of the bigger ones?
Okay, so these are going to be the shackles for the rear leaf springs. So they'll be spaced out. There's a bushing here. Right here, this is going to go inside the frame, and then these will be bolted to the frame, and that'll be the hangers for the rear of the leaf spring. And then these are the front mounts that weld to the frame for the leaf spring. So they weld onto the frame, and then the leaf spring bolts to them. Front bump stops, these are Kings. These will be on the front suspension. The rear's not going to have a hydraulic bump stop. These are steering, basically a tie rod end for the front end. Let's see what else is in here.
Just lots of goodies.
Lots of fun stuff. Whole bunch of misalignment spacers for different parts of the kit. Brake lines. Polyurethane bushings. Heim joints. Nuts and bolts and brackets. All kinds of goodness.
You got a lot of welding in your future.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done here.
All right, let's show them the control arms.
All right, so we got the upper and lower control arms here.
Ooh, look at those. These things are beefy.
Yeah, they're serious. So fully boxed control arms.
Ooh, the Toyota is getting hooked up. All right, what's in our little wrapped up paper?
So those were our hubs for the 9-inch rear end.
Now this wasn't included in the kit. This was extra. We got this as an extra part, correct?
Yes. So yeah, so it's just a 9-inch housing. Right now it's just the bare housing. Those are the hubs, and we have some brake parts and stuff like that. So this is a full float 9-inch. I think it has some wheel wood brakes for it. We still need a third member. Also, this will have to go back after I figure out exactly where the leaf springs are going to mount and weld on the leaf spring perches. Then this will go back to get the truss put on. So JD Fab will install a truss along the full back to beef this thing up.
It's gonna be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, we are still waiting on parts just because of the supply chain right now. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are feeling it as well. So we're still waiting on the shocks, and you might have got a little hint on what shocks we're getting. We're getting King shocks for the Toyota. What size are we getting? Do you know off the top of your head?
I believe they're 12-inch in the front and 16 rear. So yeah, we're gonna run a coil over in the front and a bypass shock, and then just a bypass, a 3-inch diameter bypass in the rear.
I can't wait. This is gonna be freaking exciting. Nate's got his work ahead of him. He's gonna be welding a lot. I might try to help him out with that one. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. But I will be helping with the build going forth. So big, huge thank you to JD Fab for letting us come down and poke around and look at all the amazing builds you guys are doing.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Nate was drilling a little bit.
and we are still waiting on the spindles from JD Fab, but they're working on those right now. So we'll show you those when we get those in too.
Yep. And our next step, we'll be heading down to OC Cage Works and picking up the Toyota so far. The cage build has come along nicely. Once we get the suspension on, it's going back to OC and the rest of the cage will be finished.
Yeah, we'll have him do an engine cage and probably some bumpers and stuff like that, just to dial it all in.
So the Toyota build's coming along. We're just getting all the parts and then we're going to start tearing into it. So look forward to those builds in the future. Also, guys, thank you for everybody who's liked, comment, and subscribed. You guys mean the world to us. We're almost there to 1,000 subscribers, and that is pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, it means a lot. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. Well, you know the drill. We're tired, hungry, and dirty, and that's going to be the end of this dirt road journey. Bye, guys.